attention right now, baby. Beauty queen on a silver screen, living life like I'm in a dream. I know I've got a big ego, I really don't know why it's such a big deal though. I'm tired to the core. Every day is a chore. When you give, I want more. I wanna be adored, 'cause I'm a prima donna girl. Yeah, all I ever wanted was the world. I can't help that I need it all. The prima donna life, the rise and fall. You say that I'm kinda difficult, but it's always someone else's fault. Got you wrapped around my finger, babe. You can count on me to misbehave. A prima donna girl. Fill the void up with celluloid. Take a picture, I'm with the boys. Get what I want, 'cause I asked for it. Not because I'm really that deserving of it. Living life like I'm in a play. In the limelight, I want to stay. I know I've got a big ego, I really don't know why it's such a big deal though. Going up, going down. Anything for the crown. When the lights dim down, I spin around, 'cause I'm a prima donna girl. Yeah, all I ever wanted was the world. I can't help that I need it all. The prima donna life, the rise and fall. You say that I'm kinda difficult, but it's always someone else's fault. Got you wrapped around my finger, babe. You can count on me to misbehave. Prima donna girl, yeah. All I ever wanted was the world. I can't help that I need it all. The prima donna life, the rise and fall. You say that I'm kinda difficult, but it's always someone else's fault. Got you wrapped around my finger, babe. You can count on me to misbehave. Prima donna girl.
This instrumental's wrong, but yeah, that was the goal. Okay, tongue in cheek time. How was everyone's break? Anyone eat food? Yeah. Okay. So this song was actually meant to be the last song for Fishmonger. But it wasn't. I decided against it, but I still really liked it. And decided I still wanted to put it out. So yeah, let's. So this technically, I must have made this like like October 2020 or something. This is like over a year old. Certainly did not have Travis Barker drums on it though. That came in like June or July or something. I don't know. This is fucking surreal. Like so surreal. He had like 3 mini fridges throughout his studio that had like exclusively Monster. And Liquid Death, which is just water, but fire. Really crazy. And then he tracked these drums in like 20 minutes or some shit, and then just like moved on to the next thing. It was so cool. And also very surreal to be like yelling at him like, "Yo, like play some more fills," like shit like that. Fucking surreal. Like one of the craziest moments of my life for sure. But okay, let's go into the little intro here. Some sound font strings going up the D scale. He's nuts. Got a little double bass going on here. Some little plucks with some delay on it. This is the good old like you know when like someone will have like a glimmer in their eye or some shit, like that was the goal. With that, it's a little glockenspiel with a ton of reverb on it. That's cool. I don't know what that is. There's that. Bell tree. Boomer impact. Just a little twinkly things I made. Yeah, so that's the intro. And the rest of the song is like completely divorced from the intro. So it has its own group. Shit, I guess let's go into... I actually want to hear what the old drums... Let's compare. These are live drums, I guess, partially. And then there's these. Which I guess. These are fake. And these are live drums I recorded, I guess. As you can hear, there's like kind of overlap. Like the drums are not great. But they like did the job, but they're not great. Versus fucking... Like it sounds fucking like incredible. Like I can't even comprehend how like live drums can sound this good. Like even just like mixing wise, you know what I mean? Like what the fuck? Like they don't even sound real and shit. Like it's so sick. But fucking yeah, so all the drums are like one track. The reason I haven't released stems yet is because I'm not sure if I can just like give y'all these or whatever. I need to see first. But once I figure that out, then I will send the stems out because I have them all balanced. So I won't go into the drums too much, but I essentially said like, oh, and I clipped them to shit here, which is like so fire. I don't know. I fucking... I asked him to do some like crazy like fills and shit. So crazy. Okay. So the bass is really simple. It's just really playing the root notes. Really basic shit. And then during the bridge, I have like a more subdued sort of version where I'm not like totally cranking the shit out of it. And then Travis sent me this stem, which is just like a, you know, saw with a with some white noise. Gladly welcome that I love that sound. Let me go to guitars. So this whole song kind of has this like on and off kind of thing going on. So like if this is on, off, on. So I'm essentially like palm muting, I think is the term, or just like strumming with my like palm on the kind of thing for this part, and then when this part happens, I'm playing these like open chords. The song is in drop D. I like to use a lot of like I like to use other tunings because I'm bad at guitar, and using other tunings makes it sound good. Because then you could play a lot of open notes and still have like interesting chord structures and stuff. Yeah. And I've got these sort of higher layers too. Doing the same sort of technique that I talked about on Everybody's Dead, where like I've got this sort of amp thing that Ableton made where you can choose what note you want the amp to sort of feedback on. And then I'm putting a bunch of reverb on it and stuff during the parts where I want it to feel really open. I've got 2 different takes going in both ears. And I guess I had a Gladiator preset, but I don't have Gladiator anymore, so I don't know what that was, but I think it must have been the Angry Saws preset, which is what the Angry Saws preset is like the Kill Everybody preset. Like you can hear it in the lead for Kill Everybody. Virtual Rise uses it a lot. It's the only thing I used in Gladiator, and I never owned the plugin. I only used it for the 10 minutes that I was allowed, and then I would freeze the track. But I only used one preset in Gladiator and only used it for like maybe 3 minutes tops at a time. So that it must have been that. But I definitely don't have that plugin anymore. So what else we got? Oh yeah. Okay, so the bridge got some really nice sort of like finger picked guitars and stuff. These are just the chords. And this is more of like a finger style, whatever. Got it pitched up an octave here. Yeah. And then look at the fucking waveform on that thing. I think I might have even raised it. Oh no, maybe not. I think I just like had like when I was recording the guitar, I made the input really hot. So like I wanted it super distorted. Oh yeah, and then we've got these like really sort of like blaring kind of ugly guitars that have the same sort of feedback thing going on. It just becomes this like, with the reverb, becomes this like wall of just like really nice stuff to listen to. But sort of towards the end, I ended up looping this part that I really liked the sound of because it was kind of like harsh and a little ugly. Reminded me of like Cornelius and stuff, and like there's that one part in Nights by Frank Ocean where like the guitars are playing this like really dissonant thing or whatever. So I think that was probably what I was thinking of when I decided to loop that part at the end. So that's the guitars, and then in the bridge we have all this really pretty like synth stuff. I've essentially got every note in the scale just kind of here, and then I have an arpeggiator that's like playing the notes at random, and then I'm modulating the sort of rate of it. So it's going at these like kind of random in intervals and stuff like that. Got some more twinkly shit. Just like sine wave plucks here with a bunch of reverb and stuff. Then all together, that's like super twinkly and like ethereal and shit. Oh, I got this too? That's just a sine wave with glide and some erosion. What's this? Oh, okay. So here's like a there's an atmosphere sample from this pack that I've owned since I was like 14 or some shit, 13. But it's an atmosphere sound called Beams, and it only plays an E note, so I've just got like a ton of these here playing, like pitched at different, I'll transpose differently, so they're all playing the same sound just at different notes. I've also got this echo here, which goes up, like when the rate changes, it changes the pitch really fast, making it sound sort of ethereal and kind of like spacey or something. Yeah. Let's talk about the vocals real quick.
Used to blow your tongue to your cheek when you got mad.
So I have this like preset kind of auto effect rack thing that I usually put on guitars, but I just like I tend to use the audio effect rack amp simulations more than I use the amp. This is something I learned from I was making something with Computer Wife, and she just like ended up whipping these out, and I was like, oh holy shit, I didn't know these were here. But like all of these are fucking incredible.
Blow your tongue to your
Or way better at least than the fucking amp
blow your tongue to your
on its
cheek
own.
when you got mad.
So I only have it on a little bit instead of like all the way.
Blow your tongue to your cheek.
Like that's too
Blow your
much.
tongue to your cheek when you got mad. I don't know if you still do it, but I wanted to try it on. And nobody knows you, but I'd be embarrassed if they did, 'cause I've idolized you ever since I was a kid.
Yeah, so I didn't want to like, I don't know, usually it would have been a little more anal about the fucking pitch and everything and making sure the like pitch was right and everything, but I wanted it to be sort of like rugged and stuff. I didn't really care too much.
Lonely as I was, like, and nobody knows you, but I'd be embarrassed if they did, 'cause I've had my mindset ever since I was a kid. And if you were on a should have been, and if you were on a...
There's also like a fucking 6-minute version of the song too that I originally had, and then I cut it down.
Someone set some pretty fucking high standards.
Yeah, okay. So I'm sort of like, how did I do this delay? Like, oh, this is like, these are just random ad libs and shit.
Someone set some pretty fucking high standards.
This literally goes on for like the whole song, and it gets offbeat and shit too. But I love that it's like always there the whole time. And then here's the technique I use all the time, where I've pitched up my voice like 3 or 4. It's got an amp on the whole thing. Yeah. I've got some like... I don't know how audible all that is in the actual song, but yeah. I used to have that in there. I didn't include it. Yeah. I think that's that song. This is like a pretty simple song production-wise. There's not a lot going on. I guess we'll jump to Salt Fields. Unless anyone has any questions that I didn't... anything I didn't address. Oh, with the bait. Yeah, let's run it. Yo, it's not bad. Kind of fuck with it. One more. Yo, wait. Yo. The swipe? Yeah. Okay. Did it load yet? Oh, not yet. Okay. A lot going on in this one. So the original like goal of this song, a lot of people are talking about like when they react to this song, it's like, oh, this sounds like a like Disney Channel thing. Like that's yeah. I want it to sound like some like coming of age kind of situation. But I was also really inspired by like the 1975 and stuff like that, and like a lot of the Brit pop that they were inspired by. And I have a friend called Ryan who like plays like me and you together song, and then like Last Day on Earth by Biba Doobie and stuff, like down the street and shit with his little Bluetooth speaker, and he starts like dancing around and shit. So I like wanted a song that he could like that could go like with the rest of those, and was like super happy, like la 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 running through the street and shit. But I made part of it in like 9/4 or some shit, so maybe not. Really overcomplicated the shit. But yeah, let's run through, I guess, the drums first. Oh, so much going on. Okay. So we got Travis Barker drums, of course. And we got a little white noise layer underneath as well. This snare is like really resonant. I showed it to Chuck Sutton, when I had the beat made but not the vocals down, and he was like, "It sounds like you're like using the Jack U snare as, but it's like a real snare or some shit. Like that's a super resonant snare." Yeah, so I've got these like fills here that I just sort of like manually put in. And then for the verses, I'm just using this like C78 Ableton drum kit. This is the first time I use like the groove pool too. Does it show? Where is it? I use the groove pool. I never use the groove pool, but Ableton has this thing where you can like drag in a groove to any of your MIDIs and shit like that, and also I think audio too. And it'll like swing it like whatever amount you want it to and shit. So I was new to that. Good old Pride snare. Okay, and then the thing that I get excited about, because this is what really makes the drums for me, is I've got all these like kind of like radio static-y sounds going on underneath. So that's all like, it's like a mixture of like just like radio static I found from like Freesound and stuff. Some like hit kit radio sounds, and then also like this growl static thing right here is like OTT feedback. Like that's like a super like OTT. Like put 10 OTTs on something, you'll get that kind of sound. And it calms down a little bit for the verses. Got some record scratches too. Oh, the stream is laggy? Just the Ableton. Interesting. Okay. Oh, like the screen itself. Got you. My bad. I'm not sure how to fix that. Yeah, my computer's definitely not made to stream for sure. There's this fucking like falling down the stairs, Phil. That one is like super distorted, just sounds like really messy and shit. But this is when like you got that shit going on too, like. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Is there anything? No, that's kind of all the drums. Yeah, like most of the really fun stuff for me comes with like the radio effect shit. I'm not like, that's kind of like a new sound that I got to experiment with. Yeah. So if we go into the bass. Really crudely played. I'm really bad at playing bass. But yeah, that's live bass. And then for the verses, I essentially just took the melody and like swung it a little bit. Like I played on my computer keyboard, I think. And I think I harmonize it here. Yeah. Are there any other bass stuff? Oh yeah, there's like this like random fill here. That's a growl I made ages ago, and then this is a Barely Alive sample. And then this one is 2. Yeah. And that whole part is like... Yeah, like Still Alive. Yeah, exactly. That was definitely the goal for sure. Let's go into the electric guitars. So we've got like a really sort of like clean kind of chorusy sound. And then I think we have like the more sort of like distorted. Yeah. So you get kind of a mix of just like this kind of like shoegazy kind of thing. And then you have like you can actually hear the attacks of all the shit. And then for the sort of noisier ones, I've cut it out for when I want there to be like pauses and shit. Especially here. Yeah. What else? We have this layer underneath. That's panning until then. Just took the little more chorus on it for like a octave up. I have this one come in before the chorus comes in a little bit. Yeah, super happy shit. I've got some like feedback. Sorry. Which I had to sample all of. I had to sample all this feedback. I got it from like Free Sound or some shit. Yeah, but that's the guitars. I mean the electric guitars. What do we got for the acoustic guitars? So I've got one layer doing like a kind of rhythmically simple thing, but it has like all the chords and shit. And then this one is just doing power chords essentially. But like really thinly plucked, and like I wanted to have like that where like the rhythm could be. So together it's got like this kind of bounce and shit. But that's literally it. It's only in the verses, and then synth-wise, I only have this kind of super saw pluck that's sort of just playing the vocal melody. Yeah, and then my favorite group is the screams. It's literally just a folder full of screams. I didn't do any of them, but that's underneath all the drums and shit during the like sort of refrain part. Love that. And then I've got this little fill like during the stops.
Have you had enough? You want it bad enough? To send me something new.
Where I had these different hits, but I kind of like they kind of tell a little bit of a story, like imagine like someone's about to break through like a window or something, and someone's like, "Oh, look at that!" Right? Someone cocks the gun. Whoever crashes through the window shoots the gun at somebody. It hits somebody. They're like, "Ow." And they get punched, and then the ambulance is on the way.
Bad enough. You want it bad enough? To send me something new. There's nothing we can do.
Yeah, it's not like that shows up in the song at all or has any sort of relevance. I just like wanted to have fun and make it seem like it was all of these sounds are like connected in some way. But yeah, that is the beat. Then we got a lot of vocals. Yeah, okay. Let me take this shit off right now. The octave higher. Yeah.
There's nothing we can't do. 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 There's nothing we can't do.
Yeah, so that's all going on. Super. The vocals needed to be stacked for this shit. The verses, I fucking tore my hair out trying to figure out how to make these verses sound good, and I still don't think they like sound great. I'm not crazy about my voice on it. I feel like I drowned it in like effects and shit because I didn't like the way it sounded. I'm not crazy proud of that, but let's go through it.
Wasn't kidding. This shit is worse than I thought. I thought. Yeah.
So that's literally me just saying like I thought, and then like panning it and shit.
Your ex-boyfriend.
I like these harmonies though.
Boyfriends. Jehovah's Witness. He goes as hard as he wants. Boyfriend's a Jehovah's Witness.
And then sort of the same idea like this next time it comes around.
I put my little black dress in my high.
Except I have like these.
Little black dress, high heels on, dance around to my favorite songs.
I put my little black dress and my high heels on and I dance around to my favorite songs. Cause somebody else get the door.
Yeah, and then also that part at the end is kind of just me playing with like delay and stuff. Got this like really tight delay here that sort of comes in. Also got a frequency shifter that's like not at 100%, and when that happens it creates this like sort of wobbly effect. Yeah. And the chorus is where it gets fun. So essentially I've taken like the first note, like the 'cause and I've like because that's like below the note I want it to be, I've like raised it up to come back down. So like, I know it's like hard to explain. Sorry,
Cause I'm paralyzed
like it makes more sense in the context of the song.
as hard as you want it. Cause I'm paralyzed.
Because you don't want to be hearing this sort of like, I think it's like a C sharp or something. You don't really want to be hearing that too much, so I had to go to a D and then back down to a C sharp.
As hard as you want it. Cause I'm paralyzed.
Okay.
Paralyzed from all the wasted time that I spent.
And then, so that's the main melody. And then here's the one note trick again.
Paralyzed from all the wasted time that I spent.
And this is up a third, I think.
Paralyzed from wasted time that I spent. I'm so caught.
So together, you get like...
I'm paralyzed from all the wasted time that I spent on my so-called peace of mind. And I wish I could help, but my hands are tied. Yeah, have you had enough? You want it bad enough? Does it mean something to you? Have you had enough? You want it bad enough? Does it mean something to you?
I wanted the consonants to come out a bit more, so I added these like 2 whisper layers and turned them like the fuck up.
Have you had enough?
Really creepy to hear on their own, but
Have you had enough?
they really help add, like, make sure the consonants poke out a little bit more. I'd still think I could have like gotten someone to help mix it though, like but we've also got these.
Have you had enough? You want it bad enough. Does it mean something to you?
Love those. There's like 6 of those or some shit, just panned different ways and pitched up.
Have you had enough? You want it bad enough. Does it mean something to you?
What else? Where's the there's nothing we can do. Okay, so we already have like this from the beginning, like the... But on top of that, we have like the...
Nothing we can do.
We got a layer on top of that.
Nothing we can do.
We got a layer on top of that.
Nothing we can do.
And then we've got this thing that like is kind of offset.
There's nothing we can do.
So like, you have like you have this go,
There's nothing we can do.
then this.
There's nothing we can do.
And then we have this extra high layer here, or not high layer, but it's holding a note that wasn't being held
There's
before.
nothing we can do. There's nothing we can do.
Yeah, so those are the vocals. Now let's go into the end. So, Lord, okay. What we got here? So let's talk about the beat first. I've got a vinyl distortion here doing like the really crazy distortion, and this is just coming on sort of at random intervals, like all the way till the end, sort of. What is this manipulator doing? So manipulator is like, I'm modulating like the pitch knob. So, and it gives this effect of like, it's kind of like wobbling and shit. Right. Let's see, we got an amp, which actually does like the really intense distortion and shit. What else we got? I guess we are changing the pitch a little bit of the manipulator thing. I don't know how much of a difference that makes. We have 2 lossies. One is like in standard mode, so it's really just like degrading the audio quality. That's that one. And then where's the other one? This one we really only have on at the very end. What is that doing? Huh. This is really just turning the track back on. I kind of have like this lossy is like all the way up at 100%, so you can't really hear shit anymore. But I wanted the sound to come in only at like these parts at the end. Like I wanted the beat to fade out way more, like way sooner than anything else. So for the vocals, oh lord, oh my god. Okay. Jeez. So this, we got this utility here that's just like changing the volume automation and stuff. We've also got it on the stereo width, so that's like making it either mono or like super stereo. Like got this manipulator here, and this is really only acting as like a pitch control, and I only have it, I have it pitched down like a cents or something, like a couple cents. Like it's not even in like a whole different thing, but it makes it sound a little scary and wrong and stuff. What else we got? We got a gate that does like a little bit of the stuttering if I have it set up pretty high and stuff. Yeah, I love the smear effect. Manipulator has this shit called smear that sort of like blends the main sort of notes of a sound like together, and it makes it like really fucks the sound up. So that's what this kind of like knife sort of slashing through something thing sounds like. Like sounds really bad and shit, right? And then I've got it panned a ton. I don't know where that's at, but it's panning a ton as well. Fucking lord, oh, there it is. Look at that. 5 OTTs, baby. Where's that at? That's that one right there. That's that one. Yeah, a lot of fucking crazy shit going on. I don't know what everything does. I'm sorry. And then we have this sort of folder of like a bunch of, like when I was making this, I went to Freesound and downloaded like 30 sounds or some shit, and then just kind of like put them all in here. So like on its own.
Profane, sacrilege. What are you playing in this church?
Don't you remember why you're here?
Oh my gosh! Did you hear that? Oh, wonderful. Music brings us together. Stay still! So I reached in with the best part of me.
Yeah. I think this was sort of inspired by what's it called? Give me a second. I forget what it's. It's a song by Elevation. It's called like Full-Time Meta Extraction or some shit like that. Full-Time False Extraction. It's a song called Full-Time False Extraction by Elevation. The EP that is off is like one of my favorite things ever. But it's this kind of like sound collage, sort of sound collage situation or whatever. I think that was probably like subconsciously the inspiration for this. I haven't listened to that EP in a long time, but I really fucking love it. And that song particularly like blew my mind when I first heard it. But that's like all together with all those effects, it just sounds like fucking utter chaos. But yeah. Shit, is that that time? We definitely didn't do sub 3 hours. It couldn't do sub 3 hours, but it's definitely sub 3:30 for sure. Which is good. It's okay. We'll get him next time. We'll work towards a sub 3 hour. I think we can get there. Not today, but that's fine. Not bad. That's my PB though for sure. We got the sub 7 for sure. Yeah. All right. Thank you guys so much for coming to the stream. It's always really fun to talk through my sort of production process and go through the project files, because I don't know. I feel like I'm like as unsure of what I did as y'all are. So it's fun for me to go back in and like to see what the fuck is going on, because I kind of dissociate whenever I make music.